Welcome guys to the next installment of Trading Psychology and Mindset series. In the last video, I had mentioned that we will discuss a few math concepts that are essential for any trader to recognize in order to be profitable. So we already discussed conditional probability. This video will discuss the math behind being a profitable trader. It will discuss the reward to risk ratio, your win rate, and what it really entails to see if your strategy is profitable or not. So first we will discuss with the expected value of a trading system. You guys might have heard me saying that some strategies plus EV or minus EV. What EV stands for is expected value, which in probability terms is simply the weighted average of all the possible values that a variable can get. In our case, that variable is profit and loss, P&L. So the possible values will be either a reward, which is a profit, or the risk, which is a loss. So the EV of any trading system will be defined as probability of a win multiplied by the reward plus probability of a loss multiplied by the risk. What is the reward? The reward is the amount you make when the trade is profitable. So that would be your exit minus your entry. And the risk is the amount you will lose if the trade goes against you. That will be your entry minus your stop loss. Or stop loss minus entry in order for the risk to be a negative amount of money. So let's discuss the term that is thrown around quite a bit. It's called reward to risk ratio. We already discussed what reward and risk are. Reward is the amount you make on the trade. Risk is the amount you're risking. So from the equation that was mentioned in the last slide, if you want to be break even, at least to be break even, if you want to calculate how many times I should win or what should be my probability of winning so that I don't lose any money, what we can do is put 0 in the place of EV for the system. So that's what I did here in this equation. And with some basic algebra, I found the minimum probability of winning required in order to be at least break even. So the P win turns out to be 1 divided by 1 plus reward by risk. That ratio, reward by risk, is called reward to risk ratio. Now let's see what this equation really gives us, because that's what's insightful. Here it is. This is the chart we have between the required win rate and the risk to reward ratio. It shows that you only need 1 to 1. So let's say if you're risking $100 and your reward, if your trade goes with you, is $100, then you only need to win 50% of the times. If your reward to risk is 2.5, right? Like you risk $100, whenever you win $250. Then you only need to win 28.5% of times in order to break even. So you can lose 2 out of 3 trades, even more than that, and still be profitable. So this is essential because as traders, especially amateurs, most of them think that they need to win every single trade. And we already discussed that in the second video on how to view an individual trade. You view it as one of the next thousands of trades you're going to take. So if you're taking thousands of trades, and if your trade, the risk to reward is 1 to 2.5, you have to win less than 1 out of 3 trades in order to be profitable. And that's something that most amateurs get wrong. So here you can see, based on your strategy, if let's say you only have 1 trade working out of 10, but if your risk to reward is 1 to 10, you will be profitable. So memorize this chart, or at least study it, because it shows you that in order to be a profitable trader, you don't really need to be winning all the time. You can win less than half of your trades and still be making money. Now this is the most important slide. This was going to be a quick video. It's just a concept that most people don't think about. We need to introduce it to your heads. But this is the most important slide in this video. It's the what are the mindset implications of the basic math we just did. The mindset implications are you need to backtest your system to determine what the win rate and the reward to risk is. So you have to backtest your system and see how many times you actually win. Do it over different economic regimes and maybe calculate an average. Maybe there are economic regimes where, let's say, inflation is high and the markets are breaking and your system doesn't do well. In that case, you have to recognize that and not trade. So your probability of winning will be 0 because you're just not trading, but at least you're not losing. Right? So you have to figure out your system, how it does in different economic regimes, and what is the average probability to win, and what's the reward to risk is when you do win. Then, and this was important when I said log your trades, review your trades, because you have to see if when you play live, when you actually take trades, does the numbers, do the win rate and the RR, reward to risk, do they match what you had when you were backtesting? Because when you are backtesting, we don't really have skin in the game. So we can hold a trade to its final destination where we get the reward to risk, what we have calculated in our head. When you have skin in the game, maybe you're not letting your trades run to their full potential. Maybe you're not winning as much because you're entering more trades than your system suggests. So this contrast where you backtest your system, see how it should perform compared to when you're actually performing, and the contrast between that, the difference between that is important to recognize, because then you have to see if it's your system that's failing you or if it's you that's failing you. Maybe the system is perfect, maybe the system does work right, but you do not let it play out in the markets. And that could be a different psychological issue. So this understanding is essential for you to evaluate your system based on backtest and live. And the third thing that's crucial is you have to find a system, or you have to adapt your system to your own mindset. Maybe there are people that can lose 3 trades in a row and take the 4th one with full confidence because they know their system, they know how many times the system wins. They know that they only need to win 1 out of 4 trades in order to be profitable. Maybe their reward to risk is 5-1, so they can lose 3 trades and still be fine. But there's another person, if he loses 1 trade, he gets messed up psychologically and cannot take the 2nd trade. So in that case, for that guy, I would suggest you have to build a system that might have less reward to risk, right? But is profitable more often. Maybe it's 1-1, but you're profitable 70% of the times. And that would make a fantastic system. It would be very profitable. Now, in the watch list, you might have seen most of the trades that we take, the RR is around 2-1, sometimes 3-1. So I know most of the people in the watch list are looking for every trade to be a winner, but we only need one out of 3 trades to be a winner. And obviously our hit rate is a lot bigger than that, but we only need 1 out of 3 trades to be a winner in order to be profitable. Now my hit rate is usually dances around 60 to 70%. That's been consistent throughout the year. But my reward to risk sometimes gets skewed. Like last year, there were a couple months where my reward to risk got skewed all the way down to 0.3, 0.4. And that came because I would not hold the profitable trades long enough due to the impact of trading for thousands of people, trading with different objectives. And even with a good win rate, I can lose money if the reward to risk is not aligned such that it's profitable. That was the summary of this entire video. I hope you get the idea. You have to judge your strategy not just on its win rate. It's also how much you win when you do win and how much you lose when you do lose. The combination of these two makes a strategy profitable or a loser. And then you have to see if that profitable strategy aligns with your mindset or not. If you want to stick to the strategy, you have to change your mindset. If not, you have to change the strategy to fit your mindset. Get to work, guys. This concept is essential, so you have to get into self-analysis. And if you have any doubts, ask me in the chats.